Okay, let's get into it. So about 2 nights ago, I was on the platform X, which used to be considered Twitter, I guess. And so while I was on there, I was hit up by a guy and his girlfriend, okay? They were specifically talking about the stuff that Mike was posting, politic-wise. I don't know nothing about politics, okay? I don't vote. That is just me. That's my choice, okay? I'm not for the right. I'm not for the left, okay? Let's get to the main point of this video. So obviously, this couple, I've never seen them in my life, have never met them in person, okay? Mind you, I don't know them, okay? They had a problem with something that Mike posted, okay? They seen that I reposted one of his posts on my platform. So that's how they were able to find me. Okay. This person was talking mad threats on Mike. Okay. So I had a problem with that. Me being very defensive over people in my life or certain people that I know, I get very defensive. Hi, you guys. Hi. And this man and his girlfriend were legitimately threatening Mike, okay? And they were going through me. They were basically threatening me as well. That's where I get very defensive. Okay. That's just who I am. I get very defensive. I don't know this couple. As I said, I've never met them, never seen them. But they legitimately hit me up about the stuff that he was posting on his page, politic-wise. Politics-wise. They were threatening. Certain things that he was posting on X, certain things that he was posting on Facebook, they were bringing that up. So with me being me, I get very defensive. I get territorial. And I don't like threats. So basically, they started in on him, which made me get very defensive about him. And then with me being me, you know, they started in on me because I was basically defending him. Okay, as I said, I don't do politics. Okay, but they did see that I reposted some of his content on my channel. So that's how they were able to find me. They were also able to find my Facebook because they found him on Facebook. Way to go, genius. So I was defending him, which I didn't have to. Mind you, I didn't have That's a choice. I chose to defend him. Because he lives right here in my town, where I live. And so the only page they knew at that time was the platform on X, which was considered Twitter about 5-6 years ago, is considered Twitter. I'm not really knowing anything about that, you know. I'm not really a social media person, even though people think that I am. I am not for politics. I am not for the right. I am not for the left. You feel me? I don't have those conversations. I told them, let's leave the politics to the side. Talk directly to me. Because the way that they were threatening to harm him pissed me off. So I got very defensive. Why is it the very next fucking day, pardon my French, does he start in on me? It's like I just stood up for you, defending you, and you go off the next day and talk crap about me. That is diabolical. That is crazy. It's like I just got done defending you. I just got done sticking up for you. And you turn around and bash the person that stood up for you online. Yes, I did. It was on that X, Twitter, whatever it was. And yeah, these people hit me up because they seen I reposted something about or something on his page. That's how they were able to find me. They started in on me. Mind you, I was protecting him. And so, oh, give me a moment because I don't like threats. But how are you going to bash the person that stood up for you right after they defended you? Because somebody was threatening your life. And then they started threatening me. Mind you, I'm not going to say it again, but I guess I am. I get extremely territorial, meaning I get very defensive over people I know. I don't care if I've known you for a week. I don't care if I've known you for 3 days. I don't play that shit. But how the But do you know how it looks in their eyes? When they're like, dude, she was just defending you just the night before. And the next day, you're talking crap about the person that defended you. That is cold-blooded. And legitly, they hit me up. And they're like, that's cold-blooded. You were just defending him, too. That is cold-blooded. So that will not be happening again. I won't be defending him again. But this man stating that me posting certain pictures or certain things could potentially get him harmed. Your politic bullshit is gonna get you. And mind you, they weren't talking about the AI photos. They were specifically talking about the politics and what he was saying about certain politic issues. It had nothing to do with the AI photos. It had everything to do with what he was posting specifically about the politics and certain things he was saying about the politics. They weren't saying jack crap about the AI photos. They were specifically talking about the stuff he was posting about politics. That's why I said you got to fucking cool it with the politics stuff. That's what starts riots. That's what starts some serious crap. This is why I don't talk about politics. I'm not for the right. I'm not for the left. I leave that shit the fuck out of my vocabulary. Why? Because it's something that divides the American people. The right, the left, the right, the left. Oh, if you're not right, you're wrong. If you're not left, you're wrong. What about in between? It's called unity. People have forgot one nation under God. It doesn't talk about left. It doesn't talk about right. Simply unity. One nation under God. It's not saying, oh, the right nation, the left nation. No, it's saying one. 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 One nation under God. But it seems like the American people have forgot that. That's dividing Americans. Oh, well, if you're not right, if you're not right, you're wrong. If you're not left, you're wrong. That's called dividing. And I'm not for that. When you do a good deed or you do something good, why does there have to be a punishment behind it? Because that's exactly what happened that night. How is it that I defended this man when somebody came for his name and I'm the one that gets bashed on social media? How is it that I defended his name behind him and stood by his side as these people bashed him? I'm not going to show them any attention. Oh, prove it. That's giving them attention. That's letting them win. And I'll be fucking damned. But always think twice before bashing somebody's name, because you never know what's happening behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, I was defending this man when they came for his name. Mind you, I've already been assaulted. I've had my head slammed against the concrete because somebody lied to a tweaker about me. And I got harmed in the process because of a fucking lie. This is exactly why I get so defensive when it comes to threats. Because I was assaulted because somebody lied to somebody and had me assaulted. To why I got so defensive when these people came for his name. I don't play that bullcrap. I am not going to allow somebody to threaten somebody that I know. As I said, I don't care if I've known you for a week. I don't care if I've known you for 3 days. I don't play that crap. I will stand 10 toes the fuck down on some shit. But this man, this man, the next day, legitly bashes me on social media right after I defended his name. And let me tell you right now, that will never happen again. Because how is it you do a good deed and then you get punished for it? That's how people lose respect for other people. When I could have been harmed for defending his name. That's putting my life at risk. That's putting my life on the line. And for that person to turn around and bash me, let me tell you, it will never happen again. If somebody hits me up about this man threatening him, I'm just going to delete it and say, I ain't got anything to do with that. Think twice before bashing somebody's name on social media, because you never know what's going on behind closed doors. When you do a good deed, and then it gets punished because you defended that person, and that person turns around and talks mess about you on social media and says you're crazy, you're delusional, you're this, you're that, you're a horrible person, he hates you, he's going to put a restraining order against you, all this stuff. For the people that were bashing his name and I defended him, they turned around, hit me up, and said, wow, That's diabolical. You were just offending him, and then he bashes your name. You might want to pick your partner better, or you might want to pick your friends better. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. They said, we're going to leave you alone. We're not going to say another word to you. That's diabolical. That's fucked up. It seemed like you were being a good friend or being a good partner, defending his name, and then he turns around and bashes you. That's diabolical. That's fucked up. You're right. It is. And it won't happen again. You start to learn some things, you know? You start to learn. You know, you're defending him and then he turns around and bashes you. That means I'm just gonna turn my back and walk the other way next time. Say, I don't see nothing. I don't hear nothing. I don't speak, hear, or see anything. You know? And people are asking me, you know, prove it, show this, show that. At the end of the day, that's not my business anymore. You know? You start to say, I'm just going to throw that in the trash. I'm not going to spend any more energy on that. You know, I guess I'll let him deal with that on his own. You know? Because I'm not going to put my life on the line for somebody that's just going to turn around and bash me. I'm not doing it. I'd rather go the fuck to sleep. I'd rather take my seizure medication and take my medication and go to bed and ignore those people altogether. And say, hey, you know, last time I defended you, you turned around and bashed my name. Last time I put my life on the line to defend you and you bashed my name. That's not going to happen again. You start to learn, you know. Hi, you guys. Hi. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm gonna hop off. So